to order, Dunbarton Board of Selectmen for April 14th, 2022. All three selectmen are present, town administrator is present. This is Leo Martell, is recording for the residents of Dunbarton, uploaded to YouTube, and it's also available via a link on our website. Don Larsman is here,
Yes.
cemetery trustee, and he'll be on the agenda for tonight. We're expecting the road agent to be here shortly also. All right, gentlemen, I have two sets of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the 7 PM regular meeting minutes from April 7th, 2022.
For those as amended, Dave?
Those were amended. There was one,
Say it here,
yeah, but there was one small change.
as amended,
Okay,
I'll modify my motion.
I second.
any discussion on that?
Nope.
The change was, Justin found the time start was 7:07, or 7:06, and it should have been 7 PM.
No,
And so-
Just the template from the recording secretary, I'll make sure to there.
good find.
Okay, and, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next one, I'll take motion.
I make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes, from Monday, April 11th, 2022 at 10:30.
Second Justin's motion.
I thought that was a good, concise, summary of what we talked about, and,
Yep.
all in favor, no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, to you. Get those signed. I'm gonna open up for public comment. And the other two gentlemen are on the agenda, so I'm gonna stick with the agenda. Okay, first item, we have paving bid proposals for a highway project. I'm gonna ask the highway,
Come right up here, Jeff.
Oh, right up there, right at the big table.
the big table.
No more hiding behind that camera.
I can't sit with the kids, huh? I gotta have to be at the big table.
Well, the thing is, I'm bringing him up because he's our subject matter expert in reviewing these bids.
Sorry, my back's to the camera. I got my best side.
And,
Do you want?
yes, okay, we're gonna review we have 4 bids in. and
Good.
So it was excellent. And,
Just so you know, they're listed on the sheet and in order that they came in. There's no alphabetical order in there.
excellent. Okay.
You must like it, you keep coming back every week.
For now,
Good.
nothing too difficult yet.
Let you open any envelopes.
No, okay.
Still important.
Do you need a pen, Jeff, or you? Okay.
Thank you.
I'll start off, I've opened up the, bid from Pike. And their price per ton on the overlay of the 3 broad roads is $84.50. And the shoulder gravel work, that's per ton price. Shoulder gravel work is, $26.
What?
Per ton,
$26 a ton.
we have 1,500 ton of the haul and lay of shoulder gravel. And the other one's shim and overlay of 3 rod roads. So, if we go to the top one, Pike, we do roads, I'm just gonna do the total over here.
Yeah, they did right.
Their total on the road over here is $633,750. So 633,750. And their shoulder work is 39,000.
Can
So
you
they're-
repeat that adult amount again?
Grand total is 672,750.
Okay,
Let me read their notes quick before we go
Sure.
on to the next one.
sure.
AC price adjustment shall be paid in its entirety to Pike Industries Inc. Per the New Hampshire DOT construction standard specifies AC quote for this project is $665. What's AC price adjustment stand for?
Liquid asphalt, basically. If
Okay,
that goes up, we'll pay more,
so that would be added to this, it sounds like.
if that happens.
Okay,
Typically in the past, well, we'll let you do both.
okay. Pike Industry reserves the right to adjust unit prices based on total revenues awarded. Shoulder gravel purchase
With
shall be the town of Dunbarton.
Yeah.
Pike Industries Inc. is not responsible for liquidated damage of any disincentives associated with the work quoted. Hot mix asphalt, HMA, as quoted, is free of refined engine oil bottoms. Net 30 days is the payment terms. And that's all I see on this one here, so $672,750. That looks like Pike's total.
And what was the price per ton?
$84.50 per ton, and per ton on the gravel was, 26.
But aren't we supplying the gravel?
Yeah, that will be,
It says shoulder gravel, haul and lay. So you have to haul it and lay it down.
Okay.
So tonnage, just so we're clear on these, tonnage they figured, we should write this down, was 7,500 tons for the 3 rod roads.
where are you getting the 3 rod roads?
That's how they listed, oh, 3 roads, I'm sorry, I thought it said 3
Three
rods.
roads, okay.
And then, 1,500 tons was for the, cause if somebody figured the tonnage different, that will make a huge difference, so it's nice to have both.
Okay, Justin, you wanna read yours now?
Yep.
Mine is from Brock's Industries. Same thing, this one is for 7,500 tons, at $87 a ton.
Alright,
That includes machine pave, includes sweeping, trimming, tack coat, shoulder gravel, material to be provided by others, and all traffic control. New Hampshire DOT spec to apply,
total,
$652,500.
so they would include it all in one, it sounds like to me,
Correct.
alright? Who's got GMI?
I got GMI. GMI,
Hang on one
Okay,
second,
hang on.
sorry.
that's okay.
There is so on the special notes and conditions, there's please read note regarding liquid asphalt escalation below incorporated. So, I'll go directly down to the escalation clause. Prices quoted are based on the current FOB refinery prices on liquid asphalt. Such quoted prices are not guaranteed by the major oil companies and are subject to sudden adjustment during the term of the agreement. The base price of liquid asphalt for this quote is $665. Any change in the price of liquid asphalt will require an extra charge of .055 per ton for every $1 per ton increase in the price of liquid asphalt.
Well, they're exactly the same on that.
That's standard. At this point in time,
Don't they have to know how many feet of it they're using though?
it'll just depend on how much ton. Liquid asphalt is mixed in with
Oh.
the asphalt at the plant. It's how
Oh.
how the asphalt was made,
So they're giving us the current price right now.
yes.
I was thinking liquid asphalt was where they
No.
attached the 2 roads together.
Nope.
That's tack.
Alright, GMI, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, sorry, GMI, they broke it down into supply, for the asphalt, 7,500 ton, at $79.60 a ton,
7,500 at what?
$79.60. And then they have a thing called trim and joint road intersections, approximately 2,000 linear feet,
How much was the,
597,000.
the top number was 597,000?
Correct. even.
Even, okay. And how much was the next line down?
The trim and joint and road intersections, approximately 2,000 linear square feet. 2,000 linear square feet at $6 per linear foot, that's $12,000.
Okay,
Flaggers, 200 hours at $50 an hour, I know what I'm doing this summer, for $10,000.
10,000?
Shoulder gravel supplied by the town, it'd be 900 tons, that's just $1,700 per ton, for a total of 15,300. Estimated total for the price is $634,300.
That's with all of them?
And they have this thing, price based upon April 22 NHDOT AC posting, $665, any change in AC will reflect price, is that the same as?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, now you're on the advanced paving.
I did not look at that yet, I will do that now. Advanced paving out of Suncook. Okay. Okay, the machine pave includes tack cost, $78.30 per ton,
Okay,
and they got a bunch of other breakdowns here. No aggregate price.
what's the total on the machine tack?
There is no total, there is no total at all, it's just a. Hang on, I'm looking, no. I think everything is to be determined,
Let's do it times 7,500,
okay?
so 7830 times 7,500. All the others have the same amount of road.
587,250. Check on that.
Yep.
8730 was the ton, right?
That's what I got as well.
Or 7830 is the ton,
Right,
times 7,500.
Read the lines on the extras, Mike.
okay, handwork paving. How much? Estimate.
Did they tell you that?
No, there's two.
They just put a thing in there.
Right, a
because
price.
sometimes you have to do some specialty and.
Okay, reclaiming, fine grading, certified flaggers, $47 an hour for flaggers.
So 47 times,
200 hours,
Whatever it takes for the flaggers.
Yeah, the last, put it on 200 hours.
so flaggers, what was the price, Mike?
$47 per hour.
47, and we did 200 on the last one, GMI?
Correct.
9,400.
9,400. Yeah.
Okay, a little bit less, all right.
Well, they were at $50 an hour, so
Right.
they're a few bucks cheaper.
Bobcat trimmer, what do we use Bobcat trimmer?
That's what you, make those joints, that trim the joints with.
Okay,
It's a machine, it's on a Bobcat material.
150 per hour.
Wow.
150 per hour,
Sweeper, 150 per hour.
yeah.
Truck to haul shoulder gravel, $95 per hour.
Hold on a second.
Sure.
Jeff, 1,500 tons, right? We took 1,500 divided by how many ton in a truck?
23.
Yeah.
If they don't drive.
23,
That's a good number to use.
so 65, say 66 loads, 66 times how many? What's the price?
95 an hour.
Times 95,
Oh, right, correct.
that's 62.70 if they did an hour trip, round trip. You're coming from our gravel pit?
I think
Nope.
that's maximum from Mount Williams.
Either,
Oh, we're buying the gravel somewhere else.
we're paying for the gravel and they're just gonna haul it and put it in
So it'd be
place.
a 2-hour trip, an hour there, an hour back, or an hour and a half at
Depends.
least.
Well, they're sitting there, they're sitting there while they're pushing the truck, so it's not just coming, smashing the load and then going there. The truck's sitting there with the body up while they're laying it, it's just like laying the road. So it's kinda hard to
So the other guys are around 17 and 26, they're pricing it by the ton, and they're 1,500 tons.
Shoulder gravel, they said 900 tons on the last one.
How many tons is that? Well, one guy's at 900, all the others were at 1,500 too. So GMI was way under on the tonnage. Okay, what's the other number?
I got a Bobcat trimmer,
Yeah,
and I got a sweeper. And lastly, shoulder machine and crew to install shoulder gravel, $2,000 a day.
okay.
And of course, they got the liquid asphalt, liquid, 665, the same closets and all of them.
What did we do, for a total on there?
There was no total.
No, on our bond,
1.3 million.
1.3,
Yeah, you have a copy of the bid that we submitted.
so we're somewhere about
We expected this was the part you
close to
expected about
half,
half, so.
so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, I see advanced is the cheapest. I'm worried their other charges could, increase over the other guys. But you've used them so much in the
Well, I
past.
would just, it's a little bit of a, I'm gonna use this term, it's probably not a good, crapshoot. Because the shoulder gravel is just an estimate,
Right,
because the road is so long, some places you have to put more than others. And that's why I said that we would supply the gravel and then it would be coming from a uniform place. If it, on this side of town, Robert Rogers Road, it would probably come from Mount William. When you get over on Twist Hill Road, it would come from hooks at crushed stone.
yeah,
Because the material is cheaper at Bolton's, more expensive at hooks at crushed stone, but it's a lot closer at hooks at crushed stone. So those are the two places that we deal with, and we use the same philosophy ourselves. They had to use something, so they used a number of 1,500. If we use 2,000 tons, it's whatever it is per ton in place. You follow what I'm getting at?
Yeah, so basically you're saying like GMIs, it could exceed that.
It could very well exceed that. And
most likely
but it
it will,
also
cause
could-
they're down to 900 with the
yeah,
other guys. At
exactly.
least the other two carried 1,500.
And the only thing how this all went out, the only one that came over and actually rode and looked at the roads with me was Advanced Paving. The gentleman from Pike met me at the highway garage, and we had a long discussion, I explained everything that we needed done, but he said he could go check the roads out himself. Which is fine, I mean, you're just gonna hop in his truck, he knew where they were, and just ride the roads to see. The other two guys, I just talked to them on the phone. They didn't wanna come out and spend any time looking at it, we talked about it thoroughly. I did explain to them on the trimming part of it, a lot of the driveways we're gonna trim when we go by them, the asphalt driveways, so when they pave, it matches down into it. And every place we intersect a road or stop or start at a road, we grind or do it. Typically, what a lot of them do is they just kind of mash the pavement down into the existing driveway, and we've been spending the time to, make it a little better, and that's why they use the per hour price, cause it's for the machine, because it's a variable. Nobody knows for sure how many we're gonna do. One of the vendors I noticed did put $2,000, and he put some sort of lineal footage type thing in there, $6 a foot.
Yeah,
So,
that was GMI.
yeah, so anything we do, they're gonna charge us $6 a foot. If I say, hey, you gotta do this driveway, this driveway, this driveway, it's all gonna be a charge. So, I mean, I don't know how he allowed it, what he allowed, if you follow what I'm getting at.
Well, if you take the base
Yep,
paving
yep,
out of the four, advanced paving and excavation, or excavation and paving.
Yep.
Is the cheaper, even with the, flaggers.
Yep.
I've got him at $596, $650. The one above that was $597 GMI, $652 for Brock's, and $672 $750 for Pike. So it's funny, we open them and it goes right in order as we open them,
Yeah.
from highest to lowest. That was a kind of a,
Freaky thing, huh?
but I'm thinking if all else is equal and you're happy with the way Advance does the shoulders and everything else.
They have been very good to work with, they have all the equipment to work with. They've been doing the shoulders for us on these jobs we've been doing, and it works out quite well. They come with the crew, and it's a fair way to do it for everybody.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they're pretty flexible with it.
and they're very flexible, as far as if I say, hey, we gotta do all these driveways on this road, no questions asked, they'll just do it. I'm very happy with the results from it. The price of the per ton is the huge number, the others are variable, and we're not gonna be able to hit those direct, anyway.
So the per ton that's the big monkey in the room.
Yeah, that's the biggest common denominator is the price per ton.
And they've got that,
Yeah.
And even the flaggers have $3 cheaper on the ones that, it's the same by the hour price, I mean, it could go,
right.
it's all fluctuating, so.
So
I'm good with accepting the bid from Advance Paving, we've used them in the past.
And their price is very competitive.
Yep.
I mean,
what was the highest one again?
I'll tell you, the highest
Pike was
one
high.
was Pike,
And then what
at
was it?
672, 750.
but he included quite a few items in there that we don't really, that are variable type.
No, I didn't add those in yet.
Oh, okay.
That's just the.
There's
that's just
another
the-
39,000 for that.
Oh,
That's just the asphalt.
Okay, so just the asphalt, Brock's was 652, 500, GMI was 597, and, they were at 587, 250 for just the asphalt at Advance,
That would
so.
offset some of the handy.
yeah.
And on the last two, I included the flaggers in both, and even including the flaggers, were $20,000 cheaper with Advanced Paving, so.
And, I'm not, just to maybe help clarify a little, this, the Advanced has kind of a standard form they use, and, they pave trenches when we do culverts and stuff for us, and that's where that per hand price comes in. So I think they're just used to automatically thinking they're gonna have to do some of that. But the other companies, I couldn't get Pike to come over here and pave across the trench or anything for us. So I think that's why that is in there, it's just, well, we always end up doing some handwork, so we put a number at it, Whether we do any or not, it probably won't happen on doing these 3 roads,
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be
the same-
little or no handwork.
That's the same bid paperwork they give us when they
Yeah.
do your yearly work, too.
Exactly. That's what I mean, it's kind of
I-
a
I,
standard form.
The thing is, I think we did due diligence of the
Yep.
four quotes, and the thing is, the biggest outlier, not outlier, the biggest cost is asphalt, and we're going with the
Yeah.
lower bid, and the thing is, it's not that we're going with the lowest bid, they have a history with us.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about,
Well, not only
Yeah,
do they
they-
have the history, but they are the lowest
it was
bids.
just
Yeah,
a-
but it's a win-win, lowest bid, and we have a good history with them.
bear in mind for all of the vendors, that 75 tons was just an estimate.
Yeah, 7,500.
7,500.
When we get done
Could
these
be,
roads.
could be 8,000 for this section, or 7,000, could go either.
When we get done these roads
We'll have a good idea.
and these shoulders, we have a good idea of the
Yeah.
footage and what it's gonna cost us for the others.
And this is only for half the project, we get another
Yeah.
half next year, so
Yeah.
if you're not satisfied, we can always regroup.
Yeah,
And the other thing too is when you get to next year's budget, if you know in advance to finish the roads, we told the residents we need to finish, even if some
yeah,
has to
we
come
can
out of their
adjust maybe my operating budget or something to make it work.
budget. Or use part of your operating budget, you normally do the small streets on as part of this to finish up.
Exactly.
I wanna make sure we at least take care of the voters.
No,
on
I
the
do
roads so
too,
we
I
can
do too. And that's why, one of the roads I selected this year was Robert Rogers Road, cause I feel that a lot of people use that road not only to get somewhere, but to take the kids back and forth to school. And you drive it every day, you know how it is, you drive it every day, well, you do too.
And go to the
He
dump.
lives on a fairly new road, so I
I think it's better than Montalona.
I just gotta watch out for heavy trucking on my road.
Yeah, exactly, gotta watch out for big truck. So we're on the same game plan with that, but that's why we selected that one.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we come in next year, I wanna wrap up the roads we committed
Yeah.
to the voters in those 2
Yeah.
years. And, whether we need to dip into your budget for your short roads or whatever.
Well, the thing is, his budget's gonna be increased next year, I know the planning board has some things up their sleeve that they're gonna be doing.
That's a whole different issue.
No, but,
We're
thing
on
is,
paving tonight,
no, but it's gonna involve,
Yeah.
road work, I'll leave it at that.
but we're on paving tonight.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. All right, the thing is, I make a motion that we, accept the bid from,
Advanced excavation and paving.
LLC, as provided.
I second.
Any discussion on this at all, any further discussion?
No, I think we did our due diligence.
Okay,
Alright, thank you, I'm sure
These are
we'll
all
be
the estimates
satisfied.
back to, I'd like to keep these on file so we can
Yeah.
refer back to them
I think we
sometime.
have to by law, for a while, a couple years. Did we have a vote, or did we just motion?
No, we voted.
We did?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't call a vote.
You did.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't quite make it. You
We
wanted
let
to
it
keep
fall
those,
off the bandwagon.
you wanted to keep those first. Can I talk about one other thing real quick while I'm here?
Yes.
Here's something else I saw in drawing, conservation.
Oh, no, that isn't.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, just, on Kelsey Road,
Oh.
potential improvements.
Yeah.
The turnaround,
Yeah.
as I recall, they want a smaller turnaround, a smaller footprint if possible.
Yeah.
I thought you were at the smallest you could generate to make it work.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's, they're just doing, their due diligence to make sure the selectmen are involved.
Yeah.
And the thing is, which I have no problem with.
That's fine.
Copy for you.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Look at what they've done there, if you want.
Hmm?
If you want,
Check
you can
another
look
one.
at what
That's
they
the
drew.
one going with.
They drew out
Take your
the
opinion.
red.
Yeah, I'll check it. The issue I wanna bring up, just so you're on board with it, we're gonna have to put a little money in our fuel dispensary system at the highway garage. There's a couple defects with that gasoline pump, and they gotta be repaired, I know you're kinda,
Diesel pump?
no, gasoline pump,
Okay.
as far as the dispenser itself.
Don't you wanna sign that?
It's repairable, there's,
Yes,
Yeah.
several items that have to be repaired.
Out of your budget or our
It says your name.
It's always comes out of the building maintenance budget,
budget?
because we always figured, in the past, the selectmen always figured that all the town entities use the fuel down in the diesel fuel and gas, so collectively, that.
I know you weren't part of it, but we did have that special meeting with the, contractor this week to square away the bid for that
Yeah.
building. And in doing so, we're trying to hold off on some of the small expenses.
Yeah, but that's why I'm telling you this,
Yeah.
there's two things going on here. We'll have to have a state inspection in about a month, and this was a pre-state inspection. The annual inspection by the vendor that maintains our pumps.
Yeah.
To make sure everything would pass, these issues came up, so he has to do them before the state comes out to inspect them, or it'll get turned down.
Okay, did he give you a budget, or you're not sure?
He's gonna let me know.
Okay,
I asked him that, I said he didn't have to nail it to the exact dollar, but just let me know so I could pass it.
right, that's.
Just so you, I mean, I know you're kinda trying to do a balancing act with what's going on next door and all that, I just
Yeah.
want you to be aware of
Oh,
it.
in our maintenance line, we kept a reserve.
Yeah.
For issues such as this would come up.
And I'm not even gonna guess what it's gonna be, I'll wait and hear from him,
alright,
but it's, it's more than $500,
Yeah.
let's put it that way.
alright, just let us know.
Yeah, I will, as soon as I know, I'll let you know.
No more than $599.99.
Okay, sounds good. And I mean, it's stuff that has to be done.
Your
or we
garage
just-
doors, you had talked about them, you got those replaced?
Well, I replaced one, but I put the other one on, another one on the back burner due
Yeah,
there.
the only other thing was concerned about your roof.
Yeah, my roof, we
We're
gotta,
gonna do that.
yeah, we gotta address a
Shoot.
repair.
Yeah,
Sooner than
before
later.
this roof, we're gonna do that roof.
Yeah, and eventually come up with a plan to replace it,
Yeah.
but I believe you had mentioned that you knew a vendor that
I
could
do,
probably
yeah.
repair it was, cause the asphalt's on it, I fastened it down with some screws and 2x4s, but it's not really a good watertight. So anyhow, so.
I'd be looking at, long-term, or near-term, immediate repair to make it water,
Yeah.
weather,
Yeah.
resistant, and, long-term would replace the roof, because it's.
Yeah, come up with a plan on how, what to do with that, the direction, whatever's the
I'm just
best.
making myself a note to, bring it
Yeah.
in there. Okay,
Alright, thanks,
Thank you for coming in.
Just thought I'd let you know about that.
no, thank
fuel
you.
Yeah.
thing.
The worst-case scenario, you shut down, we have to go buy it elsewhere.
Yeah, worst
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Diesel's alright,
Okay.
we only burn maybe gas a year, so I don't care if the gas pump ever works.
Now, the police cool there though?
The
Oh, yeah,
police,
all the
the
time.
fire, and, the transfer station.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good, thank you, Jeff.
Alright.
Yep.
But, again, I don't think it's quite that simple, because the state will inspect the whole system,
Right.
and it's gotta be a complete system.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll say, well,
So,
We'll see.
ETA, when we might get a, estimates?
I was hoping to have it today,
Oh, okay, so it's that soon.
because he stopped, actually, Pete and I had to get recertified. You have to take a continuing education course with him every couple of years, and
Yeah.
be licensed to operate the system down there. And he did that today, and he hadn't quite figured it out yet.
Okay.
Was trying to get it for tonight, but he didn't wanna take a guess, he said, let me put it on paper and let you know.
We'll be 2 weeks from that meeting next week.
Wow, summer's here already?
No, just a nexus of events.
Oh, okay, alright, fine, I didn't mean to pry.
No,
Alright, perfect. Thank you.
Spring's here, not summer.
That's true.
And for
Barely.
the record, he took off the low limitations?
Yes, you're free to roam about.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
continuing on.
Thank you.
Mike Colford,
I haven't got to it yet.
there's a lake out there.
Okay, Don,
We'll get to it.
come on up.
Oh, list of things to do. Have a good day.
Thank you.
How are you gentlemen tonight?
Oh, you don't get to sit there, you gotta sit in the crowd.
No, you can sit there.
I was a one-time deal for Jeff.
Oh. Come, see. Couple things, first thing, we're gonna open the cemeteries, Monday to the public, once again, so they can drive in. With our hard packed roads that we put in and that, there shouldn't be a problem anywhere along the lines, and that the roads are in great shape. All the vinyl fences, May sixth and seventh, company will be out, Mobile Magic, and, they had the lowest bid, but they also read the criteria and had that on their bid also, so, it was a pretty easy decision.
They
They're
got
gonna
a
furnish all
criteria
the
was-
water and everything else, so.
Okay.
And, so all the vinyl fences, I don't think they've ever been cleaned.
Are you being careful they don't over bleach them?
We're not using bleach.
Okay.
Everything's biodegradable.
All right, good.
Yeah. So, I've got a culvert at Page's Corner that is plugged or whatever, that's what I was, getting Jeff, he's supposed to give me a bid or find out what the problem is, but needs to be taken care of, and I don't know if that's because it's outside the cemetery, will the town take care of that?
I would think if it's outside the cemetery, the town should be taking care of it. Roadside culvert?
Yeah, it's, by, Roger Smith's property there. And it's flooding back into his land and that, so,
And it's a regular Route 13 road culvert?
yeah.
Isn't that DOT? That's
Yeah,
the
it sounds
yellow
like
phone?
one of
You
these-
got across the driveway there,
That's state.
Yeah, maybe a state road.
yeah.
We could possibly try the state and get them down to take a look at that lane.
Yeah.
Save Jeff from doing it, the state should, especially where it's raining now.
And tell me, it's not only flooding the personal property, but the library, I mean, the cemetery too.
Yeah,
People are floating.
it floods
People
that
floating.
corner, yeah.
We don't want people floating.
They come to the
Keep
surface.
popping up. Fortunately, we don't have anybody buried there. Let's see, East Cemetery, all that brush has been cleared out up on the hill and everything else and down front and that, so, very satisfactory. And, that's all taken care of. And, coming up on the 23rd, we have the vaccine clinic, so if you haven't gotten your second booster shot, we will have it, we'd love to see your smiling faces there. It will be in the gymnasium this time. And so, and then on the 28th of, this month, at 6:30 in the school library, Dr. Herb Allen, is gonna give a talk on Alzheimer's, why it happens and how to prevent it. And and that'll be free to the public. So he owns
The
them all.
28th of April?
So he's a resident.
28th of April or May?
April,
April.
yeah, coming up.
The problem, we have a challenge here, the thing is, I don't know how soon we're gonna have the library, the town hall restoration of that building, and it's gonna be blocked off. And,
No, the school library.
oh, school library, okay,
School library,
thank you,
yeah. So,
I stand corrected.
that'll be going on there, and is there anything else we should, let them know, or should we keep that a secret?
I think that's about it for now.
And I think that's it. So,
I just thought it's a pleasure to go by the cemetery at Page's Corner to see how the building with the new roofing on it, it looks nice. So I think I was very duly impressed with, what improvements you made.
yeah, we've got,
The trees,
all the
with the trees down, yeah.
now, and, you know, we're moving on to other things.
Yep.
One thing that, we're not sure of, when, we had our cemetery association meeting last week rather, and it's green burials. So now, are you familiar with green burials?
That's like burning.
Basically what it is people are not embalmed, they're either wrapped in a shroud or a biodegradable cardboard container or
Okay.
reed, and they're buried there. Sometimes people like to dig the grave themselves, and in 2 months they completely biodegrade, and
Is that, as long as we're following the state regulations regarding cemeteries?
there is no regulations on it,
Okay.
that's the whole thing.
Be a lot of dents
Different
in the lawn.
cemeteries have, where you have to have a
That's-
vault.
Right, but they're preserved so it doesn't sink in, as I understand.
Right, doesn't sink in and stuff like this, but, so we would have a special area for green burials, but, the demand for them are getting higher and higher. And we've had some people inquire on them here, I don't know how wide it'll be, but more young people that are more, ecology minded,
Right.
you know.
So if they're in a vault, it's not gonna,
No, they're not in a vault, they're just in the ground and covered with dirt. People,
Very natural.
part of the, people and the friends and that will rake the dirt back in, stuff like this, and so.
Won't you end up having, dips in the lawn everywhere?
Well,
That's
that's
the,
where you come in and you take care of that, you know, with loam and that, but you pile everything back on. They haul
Be
it
like the
away
old style, hump
with
it
a
up,
It
traditional.
only
hump it up,
takes,
let it settle down.
put the rocks on so the coyotes don't haul them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the animals will get
But-
it done.
It, you know, once again, like, you know, right now, the number of people getting cremated now is up, you know, over half. And that, and growing, so we're getting our cremains guards, we're getting ready for that, but now, you know, in addition to that, the people wanna have a natural, Donna Dunbar's one, for instance, you know, so.
I'm glad you're at least looking at it and looking to the future, planning
Yeah.
for it.
Well,
Is there a
we figured that,
regulation if they wanna get buried on their own property?
there's a lot of problems when you do it on your own property, cause you gotta have a 25-foot circumference, so you gotta have it on the deed and everything else, and so somebody might wanna have a cemetery, you know, with Andy and Donna in the backyard, you know. So, it's one of these things that, we would take a section that's, completely vacant, there is one right by our, 4x4 cremains gardens where we could put, you know, 65 or 66 spots in there. And I've talked to Mark Hubbard at Dignified Cemetery Services, who does all our digging for us and everything else. And so we're all going to meet and discuss this and try to come up with a menu that is acceptable to us, acceptable to him, and, you know, and come up with a game plan. If we do it, you know, once again,
I'm just surprised the state doesn't have any more guidelines.
they don't, we discussed that at the meeting, and so what we're doing is sharing information from other states
Okay,
and trying to use those guidelines, you know, what's acceptable, what's not, and, you know.
again, you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel, just see what other people do.
Oh, yeah, and I've got a complete, you know, fill in the blank type forms and that, you know, discussing it. what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. I mean, I have a whole sheet in that,
Okay.
and Linda Gray and I went to the program, and it was very interesting. Cause we went to one, last year, and it wasn't as informative as this one was, so, you know, that's how much it's advanced in that. But we had a lady from, Minnesota, that had all the papers in that, it was, very interesting, good leave behinds, you know, for everybody. But, you know, I just, wanna look into it, you know, and, we've got, you know, before Page's Corner's the only place we could do it, cause this one's almost full, and Page's, and, we can go with our normal, grave is 39 inches, we're able to, go 40, you know, so by 10.
Okay,
And, so it would, be a space for it.
okay.
But, we're gonna probably do some type of survey, whether it be on the community page and that, but a lot of younger, college educated people or college minded,
Now, okay, if you bought a piece of property already, say up here, people have bought property up here, would that forbid them from doing that?
that'd be traditional, all they can do there is cremation and, traditional.
So it'd be
burial.
a designated area for it,
So if they want green burial, why, you know, even if they have a plot over here,
right?
why, they're going to, a green burial is only gonna be in one section, period.
Okay,
And that's, because it, you know, it's biodegradable and
Right.
everything else.
right.
But,
Okay,
that's it.
thank you.
You welcome.
Don,
Don't get a question.
I have a direct line to DOT for questions along the state highway here.
Yeah,
Would that be, would you like that number so you can call them directly and say there's a culvert that's
No,
on
we
the-
should,
typically if it's along the state, it's not jurisdiction of the town, and the,
I know, but as a town
Homeowners.
administrator, you should call and tell them we're having a problem in front of our
okay, so,
cemetery.
then I'm gonna need more information from you, cause
okay.
as to where it is, cause that's,
I'll take a couple of pictures because with this rain and that, there'll be water sitting there.
That
okay,
would be
And
great,
that'll probably be the easiest way to show it.
right?
yeah, I would think
so-
that that's gonna rise to the top as far as priority if it's flooding grave sites.
Yeah.
Potential, yeah,
And, the
That's
other
the only way I
culvert needs to be, either cleaned out or replaced, you know, both along, both south, north and south entrance.
If you get some more details, specifically, like,
You can give Roger Smith's street address.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have a street address for the cemetery.
I know, that way, the Rogers, it'd be adjacent to this address, that'd be the residential address.
Yeah,
It's affecting the residents and.
yeah, I
the
use
cemetery.
340, Stark Highway North.
Okay, if you could get the informational link, so we can put the request in. for some
Okay.
help.
That's what you use 340 for the cemetery?
Yeah.
There you go, right there, to the left side of 340 Stark Highway, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don.
Yep.
And we'll get something going on
they
it.
do usually like to
We'll
meet
take
with
something off
someone
the,
and talk to
our
someone.
But
website.
I'll put some pictures
No,
tomorrow.
it's area 13,
That way we
that is
got
state.
what the
Yeah.
problem is and everything, so.
Okay, that sounds good.
Alrighty.
Okay, there's another item in there from the, conservation.
Right.
Take a minute, just read this letter, Mike.
Go ahead, take a moment to, it came in late.
Yeah.
I just wanna bring out to the, tell me when you're ready, I'll wait.
I'm all set, I had read it before
Okay.
we started.
Dave, tell me when you're ready. recommendations were presented to the planning board, and they were given consideration, and some of them are being implemented. The issue is, the turnaround up in Kelsey Road, it works, but it's not optimal for current maintenance of the road, during the winter. It's not optimal for deliveries, it's not optimal for emergency vehicles, especially the fire department. A new turnaround has been proposed, and has worked with the planning board and the engineer and surveyor of the applicant. They've come to an acceptable, a minimal configuration that was acceptable, and does not impact directly onto the wetland areas. And we've elected, at least the majority of the board is in favor of pursuing it that way. And so one, they would like to have it reduced, however, it's, because it's already small already, we're making it larger to facilitate safety, deliveries, emergency vehicles, maintenance of the road. As far as item 3 and 4, first of all, this is a dirt road, we do not use salt on dirt roads. And so that's a given, so we're not gonna do it, and we are gonna maintain, there's a subdivision being proposed. We're not requiring the subdivision, we're not requiring pavement, it's gonna be maintained as a gravel road, although with improvements, such as widening of the choke points, taking down trees, relocation of telephone poles. And so, I appreciate the Dunbarton Conservation Commission reaching out to us, but the thing is, I think, we're listening to them. However, the key thing is, we have to have an improved, turnaround to facilitate safety and a few other things. Any comments, Dave?
I do know they're talking about specific widths of roads, which were already agreed upon at that meeting to only be 18 feet wide anyway.
Right, which is smaller than a traditional road to start with.
It's similar to the 2 other roads they already suggest, with 2-foot shoulders on each side.
In fact, as I recall, it's very similar to what we were talking about when they were thinking of Guinea Road
Yes, that's right, and Guile.
and Guile Hill, yeah.
And, so those suggestions have been taken already.
And embraced.
Yeah. The 18-foot width with the 2-foot shoulders, 22-foot overall width. So that is what they're talking about already on that road from my recollection.
So really, it's 2 out of the 4, and the only thing there's a little disagreement is the size of the turnaround. And the problem is, that is the problem up there, and that's my opinion, and it's always gonna be my opinion, I'm supporting the road agent here. He needs an adequate turnaround, and with more people moving up in that area as the subdivision gets evolved, it's a challenge in the sense that you're gonna have delivery vehicles, Amazon vehicles, and one of the biggest problems with a turnaround, you pull in and you turn into a private citizen's driveway, knock down poles, and you get someone upset up there, it's not good for, he could stand there and just stop him from doing it, but he can't do that all day. And it's like having an oil truck to come in and turn into someone's private driveway, use it as a turnaround. So I respect the owner's property there. And that's why, it is among other reasons for just having a better turnaround to facilitate, movement of vehicles.
Just another note, they already don't use salt on Kelsey Road.
No, I said that, okay,
Into
yeah,
law.
I said that.
And,
So, thing is, I would say, it's nice that they brought it to the selectmen, but the thing is, I think it's already been, more than adequately addressed. Dave, you?
yeah, I think that's kind of gone full circle at the planning board level.
Right.
I think there's probably some frustration that, some of the comments don't seem to carry weight from the Conservation Commission, and, I think that maybe that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, but the thing is, in reality, 3 out of the 4 items that we're being actively engaged with, so I was happy with that. I'm gonna go on to the next item if we're all set.
Yep.
Okay, sign appointments to the Hazard Mitigation Committee.
Read through them like we always do.
Yes, I'm gonna get it out for you. Go for it.
Okay. I'll give a list of the following people for appointment to the hazard mitigation list.
Wasn't there some discussion, I was talking with the town administrator today, these are employees of the town already on the hazard mitigation. And they're not being sworn, they're already, as employees, I look at this hazard mitigation committee as not a volunteer committee, it's part of their job to be represented on this committee. And as part of their job, they don't, I don't think they have to swear someone in to do their job. And so I'm not sure whether they need to be sworn in, do you wanna
So-
comment on that?
If you turn that document over, Dave, that's what was sent to us, and, Donna's handling, the communication, and
Is this the first year we do the appointments like this?
I believe so, but if you read what, is on that document, it is custom, it does word it in the, list that's right there,
Right,
that appointments should be made. We did ask Stephanie Alexander if that is, customary of most towns doing that, and she said she has not seen anybody do it, but in the case of, a community not participating or getting involved in it adequately, then they would have to recommend that we make an appointment of a committee, because, by doing the appointment route, you're guaranteeing that these people will commit themselves to meet for the bulk of those meetings.
I don't have any problem either way, but I don't think it has ever been done
It hasn't in the past.
like this before.
exactly, that's why
Yeah.
I'm questioning the need, that we have to swear them in, and,
I guess if it is listed as a committee, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have them on there.
okay, what,
They are in our town report that way too, so.
okay, let's go for it then,
Okay,
make a bulk appointment.
Patrick Bone, for Hazard Mitigation Committee, term ending April 30th, 2023. Lean Como, for the Hazard Mitigation Committee, April 30th, 2023. Mike Cummings as the Building Inspector, April 30th, 2023. Jeff Crosby as the Road Agent, April 30th, 2023. Dave Nault as the Dunbarton Selectmen Representative, April 30th, 2023. Christopher Remillard as the Police Chief, April 30th, 2023. Kenneth Swayze as the Planning Board Rep, April 30th, 2023. Donna White as the Building Planning Zoning Coordinator for April 30th, 2023. John Wigan as the Fire Department Chief for April 30th, 2023.
I second the motion to appoint these individuals to the Dunbarton Hazard Mitigation Committee.
Probably should have signed them as I flipped them.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
I'll have them all, Mike, if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna continue on.
Yeah.
And, someone who wasn't on the agenda, John, if you come up, please come up. I asked John to come in, Lean to get in touch with him, because he's a member of the, Old Home Day, in fact, the chair of the Old Home Day Committee.
Yeah.
And I just wanna make sure you're aware of what's going on in that town center here. Within the next two weeks, I anticipate we'll be breaking ground on the new, town hall, renovations.
Yeah.
Okay. And estimated to go for 20 weeks, and based upon, what I was hearing today's meeting, some of it could go 20 to 24 weeks based upon, supply availability. It's gonna take it right in the middle of the, of Old Home Day. Passed, exactly. And, so I wanna make sure as you plan ahead, I wanna give you, your committee, the courtesy of knowing that, yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, it's gonna be probably, marked off with, the plastic fencing, orange fencing, and there'll be no tours of the, building, no walking on the steps of the building, and things, I'm worried about, injuries to the public and people wanting to sneak in there. It's not gonna happen, not this year, because we're going ahead with it, okay?
Yeah.
And, I foresee by that date, I would anticipate the majority of the building up, and they're working interior work. So that's, but I wanna make sure you're aware of that, and, no tours will be authorized, because it's a construction zone, and we're not gonna take the liability. Whereas they've always had that, shall I say, the free tours upstairs, we're not doing that this year, and, because it's, construction is ongoing. Okay, gentlemen, you wanna comment?
Yeah, I think so, Mike hit the nail on the head, it's a 20-week project, so hopefully we're winding down towards that time, but, that'll be all flagged off for the construction area there.
Yeah, my
The thoughts so far, just thoughts, not plans. We are waiting for more information from you all and whatnot. But if the north and west and south sides could be open, and the north side, the parking area or building with kind of.
I think the parking area will be available, because that's where the construction people are gonna be.
Exactly.
And, the thing is, I don't wanna have to move the construction people on that Thursday, Friday.
Right.
The thing is, I'm not sure how many are gonna be there that day during setup, and so it may be an impact, and it may be a judgment call when you get there.
Yes, it's sort of a last minute, we do a site plan, you know.
Of where you wanna place things based upon the,
Each, the 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 spots, you know, by number, and it seemed as though, in my thinking, by that time, the heavy work ought to be done.
that's what we're thinking too.
And we, so that would leave the north and south sides open to the width, length of the building,
That's,
or so.
I'd say,
And it's on a Saturday, so they can just pull any of their vehicles, jam them right into that area.
well, I anticipate no construction vehicles on site then. Okay, I could see maybe a trailer, that's about all.
Yeah,
And the only thing I could foresee is, the only trouble would be like on a Friday, how you do the setup. You know, you come in with tents and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It may be an active construction, maybe still people working there, but hopefully it'll be nothing external, it'll be all internal, so it'll be a no-brainer to be an interference.
yeah, and those tents.
Right.
Tents are 20 or more feet.
From the
out,
building.
Right.
Yeah,
The other option we had thought of, not really knowing where everything would be, was if it winds up that the common area is gonna be occupied, busy, and site, groundwork being done, all that kind of stuff, we could have it over at the school.
I'm hoping not, I think it'll be, I think will be a majority of it work done, we'll be on the downhill
I don't think
side.
it'll be much different than it normally is, because most of the time that parking lot is full of vehicles, and
Right,
I think there was one vendor in there last year that was
two, but yes.
showing the upstairs or something, it wasn't big.
Also, yeah. Yeah,
So that area will be roped off for construction, so you're gonna have the rest of the grounds.
yeah, I just wanted to make it clear on what I had said about the school. The athletic field there, that's a real stretch.
Okay,
You know, 'cause
yeah.
getting power out to there is just.
No, I think, but I just wanna make sure you, at least we're aware of that.
Yeah.
This construction's gonna be ongoing, it'll be finishing up, it'll be ongoing there, and as long as it doesn't interfere with the ice cream, I'm all set.
So you were gonna serve?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so,
I get to sample before I serve though, right? Like always?
oh, that is very wise, just to make sure.
Make sure it's,
that
it's-
what you're serving is
Yes,
safe.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Dave wanted to do it, but I'm gonna volunteer for Dave.
So what's the date again that you're,
August 13th.
August 13th is the date for Old Home Day?
Yeah.
August 13th.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't wanna leave you in a lurch and just figure out what was going on at the last minute, so I just this is a courtesy for you, so you know.
Yeah.
Be aware that you may, a week before, do a walkthrough, walk the area before you start making assignments.
We have to make assignments earlier than that,
Okay,
but,
but you may have to do some shifting if needed.
yeah, zones, you know,
Yeah.
you know, there are certain types of things that we kinda gather over here and those over there, but we kinda.
And you want, on a separate note, I'll be joining you Monday for your meeting. Okay,
Good.
all right, that's all I wanted to bring in, Joe.
Yeah, just that, so sometime before the next selectmen's meeting, we hope to meet and come up with, and I can pass on what you have told me, and then get any other information somebody else has that
Sure.
maybe I didn't think of. You know?
That's meeting of the minds, that's perfect.
I would rather solve those problems before than.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and the thing is, this was all just a matter of courtesy, so you know what's going on,
Yes, thank you.
okay?
That's it?
That's it,
All right.
I told you it would take no more than 5 minutes.
Happy Easter.
Likewise, be safe out there.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, talk to me about the audit chair, Lean.
All right, we're just finalizing our 2020 audit. The last document that is required is, a representation letter, which basically says that what we have provided for them, outlines and meets the, Gatsby information, and the information provided is to the best of our ability, so that's a standard letter that I have to put on with, town letterhead. and
Okay.
then, town officials have to sign it. And then we should have the bound copies tomorrow or possibly Monday for,
That means they lock you up, Justin, or I'm okay to run.
I noticed your name, my name's on there only, I don't know if I like that. It's all this fine print, Dave.
You wanna bring them big cheap, there you go.
do you want me to scan it to you guys?
No.
It's a standard, yeah, it's a standard letter, representation letter of the audits.
Yep.
And you've been happy with this,
They've been really, really good to work
Okay.
with.
compared to previous?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's sometimes pretty good to sometimes get a new company in.
Yeah.
It's, it gives a different perspective sometimes. It's signed, ready to go for you.
Thank you. I have to scan that for you.
Okay. All right, mailbox items. I don't think I have anything else, mailbox items.
No,
I think it's pretty slim, because you took everything on the mailbox, put on the agenda, I think.
yeah.
Okay.
To the public.
I am gonna do that. Leo?
Want to get back to those signposts for the
Yeah.
DHAC. Gail and I guess I told you, Gail and I did go out to get some.
Yeah,
They don't have holes in them at all whatsoever.
right,
They're good and solid, but that's it, they're solid.
yeah.
And so you'd mentioned Jeff.
Yeah, I wish we would've grabbed.
I know, I thought of the same thing just a few moments ago.
I did contact Jeff and he said they are available still, so,
Where would that be?
they do come from the correction facility in Concord.
So how do we
Jeff.
how do they go about?
Jeff has a resource to contact them,
Oh, okay, all right, I'll have Donna contact them.
yeah,
Cool, okay,
and, yeah, it's a regular contact and it's how he normally purchases them, and
okay, good, that's a good idea.
they do signs and everything up there, I guess. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
well,
that.
that's
Yeah,
who
they
makes
do a
them.
lot. We use them a lot.
That's who's been making theirs.
So I guess we'll get the post from them too.
Okay.
He said their standard post, I think, is, 7 foot.
Okay.
Conservation uses them for their signs at the conservation.
Yeah.
We use them a lot.
Okay, yeah, have Donna call Jeff,
Yeah,
if
I'll
she's
do
too
that.
tied up, I guess you and I could handle it too.
Well, I'm gonna be seeing her probably over the weekend, I'll just let her know to just give Jeff a call,
Okay.
you know? And that way there, once he tells her who to contact, you know, she can contact him, or she can let Gail contact him, or whatever, you know? And then they can be picked up, we have a sign that, they have a sign that they want put up now at Bailey's Corner.
Oh, okay,
And so that was, we're hoping to get it up soon, I'm gonna help Fred put it in there, you know?
okay. If
Okay.
they need somebody to pick them up down there, I'm always in Concord, so,
Oh, right,
yeah, let me know and we can get it ironed out
okay, I'll let
somehow.
her know that too, yeah, okay.
I'm sure they can build a town for them and we can get the funds squared away somehow.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Donna would be happy to give you a check for that. That way it doesn't get,
They may wanna bill our town, cause I'm not sure.
oh,
how
I
Jeff
see,
has it set
because of
up,
the
so
we have an
connection
account.
maybe.
We have an account, so we
Yeah,
can just
maybe because of
refund.
that connection, yeah, okay, all right, well, you guys can deal with all that stuff.
Okay.
And just for the public, just give a quick synopsis of what you were talking about.
Oh, at the,
Well, the DHAC, puts up signs, historical signs occasionally, they do have the prison make them up. And so now they need good posts to put the signs on.
We're looking also to put posts of all of the previous schoolhouse locations.
Right, all the
around town of
schools,
Dunbarton.
schoolhouse sites,
That'd be nice.
yeah.
What are you gonna do
Vermont
for-
Long Road Schoolhouse.
Forgive me, I just wasn't
and-
unsure, I thought the public might wanna be interested.
Yeah,
Okay.
right, no,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay,
So they're doing research on all the schools and all the different
Yep.
districts within the town.
okay,
And, there were, I think, 10 different districts, it was amazing how many districts
11.
there were.
okay, thank you. All right, bring it back to the board, I'm gonna go with the town administrator.
Oh, we're still fairly early, so if you guys don't mind, I've been extremely busy, but I did, complete my MS1 report. It says on a draft level, I think it's pretty much finalized. April 1st is the cutoff for annual pickups. Annually, I work with a spreadsheet to give the board an estimated tax rate impact of what the board proposes before the voters. So the top section, from line 31 and up, was all based on, using the 2021 assessment, which was $399,463,829, and that's what we proposed in the town report, as to what these articles would mean to the tax base. So, the operating budget, less the estimated revenues and the surplus, I did adjust it for the amendment amount that was, passed on the floor. The tax rate for the operating budget as presented, based on last year's values, would have, impacted the taxes $3.40. And then the, warrant articles that were presented, the total impact based on 2021's values was a 58-cent impact. So the combined, total impact would have been $3.98 for the, town portion of the tax rate. And because I've received all my values and my numbers for, new values that were picked up from 2021 to April 1st of 2022, the new values came to $6,568,308. So that basically, reduced the overall impact for warrants and, the budget by about 6 cents. One thing that I have done over the years is I've included the operating budget, starts at, column 32 and goes down to 37. Last year, 2021's operating budget was $335, so that would have, resulted in a flat budget. The other warrants that, were presented were 58 cents. The new values then now have adjusted it down to, 57 cents. One thing that's always skewed the, total of the town's portion of the warrant is the overlay. In the past couple of years, we have set a $50,000 overlay, so using that, minimum amount, with the new values, that's a 12-cent impact to the taxes. And then the war credits that are returned to the taxpayers is a 16-cent, tax increase. So the combined, with the new values for the operating budget, the warrants, operating budget is a 5-cent impact increase. The warrant is a decrease. And then the warrant, with the new values is a penny decrease, so it's 57 cents. Overlay 12 cents, war credit 16 cents, so the total estimated town tax rate with the new values is about $4.20. Last year at tax rate setting, we came in at $4.05. So we're looking at an increase of 15 cents for the 2022 town portion of the tax rate. So I was very pleased to see that. So hoping that we don't have to give back too much of the values that we've collected to our appeals, which are outstanding for the utilities, and if that's the case, then we can see a pretty level budget for the town for the most part.
Yeah, it went up 3.6% overall, we held it at 3.6%, the cost increases this year.
When do you think we'll be able to get rid of that overlay amount?
You can't, every year you have to adjust, you have to
You do?
allocate that.
It's not only for.
It has gone down, I think once we stop getting, I've gotten another Eversource abatement this calendar year, so they're reoccurring every year. We still have 2017, 18, and 19, I believe, that are outstanding. And it's recent, the last 4 years, I believe, we have implemented the Department of Revenue's recommended formula, so it's an agreed upon formula, but yet they still apply for the abatement every year, so we have to look at it and,
Can you look at article number 11, Lean?
yep,
You have 46,000 there.
number 11. Yep,
You got, so $10,000 from the police department vehicle fund,
yeah, that's not an impact to taxes, that's other revenues.
so it should be 36,000, the calculation?
No, it was actually 56 is the proposed warrant,
Oh, it was, okay.
so I just removed the
So the
revenue
46 is the correct amount,
from taxes, correct,
Okay.
yep.
alright. It was 56 from taxes, huh?
Yep, no, it was
56 total.
56 total, 10 from capital reserve and 46 from taxes.
I don't remember it being that high.
Yeah, last year it was 54,
It was that
this
much,
year
huh?
it's 56. It's just we had more, special duty funds to offset the cost.
Yeah, and that was a probably a little
And
more,
we-
that was premature expense, because remember the engine blew up, so we
Yeah.
didn't have as much in the capital, the
It's special duty fund,
special duty
yeah,
fund.
that's correct.
Okay,
And it was a light year, if you recall, a light year for special duty too, because, Joe Migliota spent more time on actual duty than special duty. As an example, he was not the only one. Okay,
I have one more other thing.
go ahead.
We're set to start the 2021 audit next Monday and Tuesday, and they'll be following up with, any additional, gathering of information on the, April 25th and 26th. They'll probably get most of it this coming week. They made that adjustment to come in early, because I would be out for those couple
Yeah,
of
but
days.
as I said, as I understand, these are just information gathering.
That's all they're doing is gathering information, scanning documents, looking at all of our books, our binders, the library, the trustee of the trust funds, all of them combined. So those, and I've already notified the, cemetery trustees, cause they meet here on Mondays, so they won't be able to, use the space for a couple of days. And then I also wanted to let the board know that I have finalized and filed the ARPA grant reporting, which is due April 30th. And what I learned today while doing that is that I could enter any projects that we have potentially for the use of that money, and where we have the vote of the townspeople in March. I did project number 1 as the septic repair, and then project number 2 as the library addition for additional meeting room space, so. That's been earmarked in the ARPA website through the treasury, and next year, all I have to do is go in and then upload, the detailed expenses for those funds, and then release them that way, so it's already been set up, so it should be a little bit easier when we have to report next April. We should be getting those funds here soon, I think last year it was July, but hopefully we'll get those.
Anything else?
And I think that is it for me.
Okay. Now go to Justin first.
I don't have anything.
David?
I did just get a notification, the transfer station, manager and myself met with a potential former employee and, placed a job offer with him, to be a manager at transfer station, part-time. And it went very well and he was very interested, but it looks like he just declined our offer tonight, so.
Ooh, okay.
I would like to put that on Indeed.
I
We
will.
held off thinking that this was a potential candidate that would
Okay.
come to us, and
And how do
it
you
did
want
look
me
very well.
to advertise it, 2 positions, attendant and assistant, or?
This is what I would like you to do.
Okay,
I would like you to, do the transfer station manager part-time,
yep,
and I would like to take the other one offline for a week and then come back on with it next week.
okay, and then 1 week,
What
Keep
happens
to
is-
know it,
Woody
don't let it
explained to
stale.
me, when he goes on and looks, there's a whole group of people now that could've qualified, but they're beyond the time frame from when we initially put the job out. So in order to, respond back to those people, you have to get back in touch with Indeed. So if we pull it off for a week and reapply, all them people are potential people, he'll be able to talk with. So,
Okay, and when I put the other notice back on, is it two vacancies, three?
I think two.
For the
Yeah,
attendant?
they're short, and,
Yeah.
if somebody comes in temporary hours, did we reach out with that employee and tell him he could work part of the hours?
I have not had the chance to do that.
Okay, we kinda dropped the ball all the way through this process.
Yeah,
We dropped it when we, looked at him to hire him, we dropped it right afterwards, we didn't get back to him that quickly. All the way through
I
this,
think
we
we lost,
dropped it by a week or
we
two.
could've potentially lost him, and then the final email was a nail in the.
But you know, that email, even after that, we talked about reaching out to him, saying a couple
Yeah.
hours a week would be enough, and
Yeah.
we,
yeah,
we have to stop dropping that ball from now on. I guess make me part of those groups and I'll make the time for them, cause I need to,
okay,
we can't keep letting this go down, we're gonna have to be stuck with two employees down there, a part-timer and Woody,
That's it.
and so,
And the thing is, I want you to seriously consider it now, the thing is, outsourcing, doing the temporary ones with, Bo
Yeah.
Recycling did, so we need this time on site now.
right. So, anyway,
Because obviously, the current part-timer cannot work by himself,
right, and we got a couple of weeks down the road from that, so.
we're getting close.
With this happening to us, he was gonna give a 2 weeks notice, so this would've worked out real well, but since it didn't, we need to really get on these. So any potential people that you and Woody screen,
mhm,
get me right on board with them.
include you on that?
Yeah, I don't wanna screen everybody, I'll let you two take care of that.
Yeah.
And then get me on board and I'll make the appointments and,
I think that's where there's been a disconnect, is every time I've given the, applications to Woody to review them and get involved with the scheduling, it hasn't worked out with him, or he doesn't think that they're good candidates, but for the position that we're trying to fill, I mean, again, the flexibility.
We can have 4 part-timers who wanna work Mondays and, Wednesdays and Tuesdays
This
and no Saturdays.
This is where he's,
well, I don't want any more disconnect.
okay,
We also
I
have
want
to
it-
broaden what we're looking at too, I mean, you can't judge a book by its cover or by,
No.
just by a resume, I mean, if
Right.
they're interested and
Get 'em
they've
in here.
legitimately
So,
applied, and
I
they
will-
reply back, let's get them interviewed.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere, it's not that much.
I mean, somebody that can't lift a lot of weight or something, we can weed through some of those. But
The
you
guy
know,
with the back,
we need just bodies up there right now at this point, cause watching the compactor, you're not lifting a thing.
no, all you're doing is pushing a button and making sure, measuring.
So, I guess I'm gonna insert myself and try and get these people hired up, cause I think, I would still like to reach out with that guy one more time,
Yeah, I
tomorrow if
will.
you're in.
tomorrow
Let's reach
morning I'll
out.
do it,
If he just wants to work on Saturdays, so be it.
I think, yeah, that was part of the concern from him was that he was told it had to be 4 days, 4 shifts. And I don't think that everyone is available for that many days, especially when it's part-time.
So let him know, you know, if it wants to be 2 days or 3 days a week, we're fine with that.
Even, even if you wanna just work Wednesdays.
Or Saturdays,
Yeah.
Saturdays is a big plus.
Even a flexible schedule, if he doesn't
Yeah.
wanna come every day, he can work 1 day, 1 week, and 2 days
Give him
another
somebody
week.
else to call in and fill his holes,
Yeah,
so let him know
Agreed.
that and we'll
Okay.
go from there, so we're gonna go for the transfer station part-time manager on Indeed,
For at
take
least
the other one off for a week and then put it back on.
Right.
Gotcha, okay.
Agreed, consensus, we're all agreement, yeah.
Try and get a good group of people on that.
I have to give, Woody some kudos, at least he tried to get this, potential
Yeah.
new manager, but the thing is,
And actually, our whole interview went very well, so
yeah.
and
I'm thinking his other employer offered him something really good to stay.
yeah, and even for me, I just got a couple guys to, apply, I put my job offer on Indeed for my business and got a few people to answer right back, but I was also vigilant in answering them right back and getting interviews scheduled. I'm gonna get them hired immediately. You know, I know there's a little bit more of a process here, but, I think definitely is something to get.
Yeah,
stick
okay.
on it.
Anything else, Dave?
The selectmen had a meeting,
You'd be,
oh, go ahead then, if you're gonna do it.
well, about the,
Yep,
yeah, we had a meeting, this week, regarding, 2 meetings this week. One was,
sign the contract or.
Monday contract, we had a negotiated contract and the terms of the contract with the bidder. The negotiations went really well. I think, you realize that the town, we don't have deep pockets, we have small pockets. And, he worked with us, we came to a very good conclusion, and we signed the contract that afternoon. He came back to us, and we had a pre-construction meeting this morning. And the pre-construction meeting, this entire room was full, with contractors, town officials, subcontractors, the fire chief, Lean was here. Our engineer was Jeff Trexler. It was a great meeting, a lot of information was exchanged, the architect came in to talk about it. And I think we got the ball rolling. And
Potential start is about 2 weeks away.
break ground, yeah.
Yeah.
And, hopefully we're trying to be vigilant to keep the costs under control, because in this environment, the costs have been going up, as materials daily. And, by not holding, not delaying the contract, or waiting another week, I think we're working to be good stewards of, the town's limited resources.
Yeah. I think it's the best we can do in this environment.
Yeah, I do too, and the thing is, Mr. Jacoin, I have to say, he worked with some of his vendors to, have them toe the line. And, it really worked well, because, as a citizen of this town, he wants this too.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kinda nice when he was turned to his contractors and held 3 of them at their, kinda like twisted their arms to hold the prices. It was kinda nice to see that.
Well, he does a lot of work with those vendors, so.
Right.
So when he asks them to toe the line, they kind of give him a little bit of respect, cause he has a lot of work for them each year. So.
And for him, it's a big project for us, but for him, it's a small project. And so, he's working with us, and I thought it was a great information meeting. The library was here, and, they're fully on board. They're gonna go do some, remote stuff, and the Dropbox is gonna be moved over here, Lean, towards this building.
I thought that Jeff was supposed to handle it, move it where Mary wants it. I thought it was on the other side, but.
Whatever, it's gonna be
I think,
moved out of the area.
Mary has some different thoughts, she may try and keep it on that side of the road, but she's also gonna let people walk up to that front entrance to grab books off the steps. I told her I kinda didn't want to have everybody coming towards the construction, but she's gonna keep them on the front side, and I said, well, if you wanna try that for a while, we'll see how it works out.
Right, I think my concern is, one, safety of the public, make sure, because they're gonna be working, there'll be machinery around there. And two, if you gotta, work your way around people walking to the library, it can just delay the project, and the thing is, no one wants to delay.
Yeah, so this is gonna be ribboned off, I don't think it's gonna access it. My same thought is they're coming up to a set of steps. You can't offer handicapped people the same thing you are the other people.
Correct.
To me, it's not right, she only has a few that come in, and she's gonna service them one-on-one,
Okay.
so.
Oh, and the other thing I saw today, we have concrete outside that, is that the concrete you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for ASAP.
Who's gonna
Yeah.
pick that up?
Yeah,
The yard cleanup.
it's the spring, it should
Okay.
be included with spring cleanup.
Yeah, because he's picking up wheelbarrows of lawn out there.
It's noticeable though,
Oh,
so,
as you
Yeah.
walk the library, I mean, there's like maybe, maybe a 4x6 area where there's, just area, a very thin concrete that was
It's
just,
all little pieces.
that was
Okay.
melt, it was in the snow, and they couldn't get it all out of the snow.
Yeah.
I don't think it was any fault of anyone, but it just,
No, you can't pick it all up with the snow out there. The other thing I'd like to do is, remember on our agenda, I'd like to put stone around the balance of that building, cause the bark mulch is blowing up against the paint and the building and the foundation, so.
with fabric.
Yeah, so once we're done our addition, I think we should look at that in next year's budget.
I think that's what we did over here, right?
Yeah.
It looks really good, and
Yeah.
it's keeping everything.
Half
clean.
of that building's done, why the other half's not done is beyond me.
Okay.
But
All right, and I think I'm all set. Ray, I have nothing for the general public, so I'm gonna, make a motion go into non-public for RSA 91 alpha, Roman numeral 3, subparagraph 2.